Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Ali Reza with another video. Okay, we are going to speak about Ielts exam today. We are going to see why its name is Ielts, what does it mean, and we are going to see how many parts does it have, how you can get your scores, how are they scores about, and we are going to talk about every part individually. So stay tuned until the last of the video. First of all, I have to say that my resources, Ielts with answers, I think. No, the name of this book is Cambridge English Ielts, which is one of the companies which owns Ielts exams. At the beginning of this book, it's an introduction about Ielts exam. I studied it, and there's absolutely great information in here, and I'm going to say what I've learned from this part. First, I'm going to say that Ielts exams are really great exams for estimating your English abilities. First of all, I'm going to tell you what does Ielts stands for. Ielts mean International English Language Testing System, which is owned by three companies. Let me read it from the book. The University of Cambridge Local Examination Syndicate, and the British Council, and ITP Education Australia. These three companies own this Ielts exam, and every country that you take your exam, at last the money you pay will go for these companies. Well, there are two kinds of Ielts exam: general exams and academic exams. Academic exams are for those who want to study in another country, especially English language based countries or universities which their courses are in English. Students who are postgraduated or undergraduated, and everyone who wants to apply for a job which needs academic English, they have to take academic Ielts exams. And everyone else who wants to immigrate or do some workshops or do some courses which at the end there's no degree for them, they need a general Ielts exam, but they can also take academic Ielts exam, but that's not necessary for them. Ielts exam is a great way to estimate your language skills, and by that means that this exam includes 4 different parts. First, listening. Second, reading. After that, you have to write 2 passages, and at last you have to speak. Every individual have their own time. For example, listening has 30 minutes, and there is 16 minutes for reading. Reading and writing are the parts which are different in academic and general Ielts exam. In both listening and speaking, both who enroll for academic and general exams take the exact same exam. But in reading and writing, there are differences. For example, in academic reading, the passages you have to read, there are more academic, and most of them are from National Geographic website. But in general exam, there is there are just simple passages which there's no need to be so careful about reading them. For reading, both academic and general, they have 60 minutes to do their reading. For writing, there is two parts, which overall they have 60 minutes for writing. And for speaking, the speaker have 11 to 14 minutes for their exam. The candidates get their scores in a 9-band score. Everyone who is near the 9 is better in English speaking and other skills, and 0 is the minimum score you can get, or I should say the minimum band you can get. Okay, let's see every part individually. At first, you spend 30 minutes for listening. It has 4 parts, which most of the voice you will listen is a conversation between two people, and one part mainly is a lecture or someone who speaks about something special. For the reading, there's 3 parts, and there are every passage for every part. You have to read them and answer the questions carefully. Both reading and listening have 40 questions to answer. For the writing, there's 2 parts. Okay, in task 1 of writing IELTS exam, you have to write a passage with 150 words about a chart or picture they gave you. You have 20 minutes for doing that. And the task 2, you have 40 minutes for writing a passage, includes 250 words, which you have to argue about different opinions about a specific topic, which they give you a paragraph of that topic. In the speaking, there is mainly 3 part 1, you speak about your family, your hometown, personal things. At part 2, you have 1 to 2 minutes to speak monologue, and in the part 3, there will be a discussion between you and the examiner about the topic of part 2. After you take your exam, after a couple of weeks, you can check your score in website or by visiting the company you took the exam in. And they may don't tell you your score because of 3 main reasons. First, there would be a difference in your IELTS scores. For example, you may get 5 in your speaking and 8 in your writing. That amount of difference in your IELTS band scores may cause them to think you've cheated on IELTS exam, and they don't show your scores. And you might do again another IELTS exam, or ask them and prove them they were wrong about your cheating. Another reason might be that the questions were released before the exam, and everyone at that exam might won't be able to see their scores. And the third reason might be that the company didn't want to do that. Sometimes it happens every while a company decides not to show someone's score, and you have to call them and ask them to tell you your score. The way they tell you score is two-way. First, they individually give you the band you scored for every skill. For example, you may have 6.5 for speaking, 7 for writing and listening, and for reading 7.5. And there's an overall of them, which is I think, what was the numbers I said? I don't know. There is an overall for 4 of your skills, and the numbers are really important for universities you might apply, because they may say we want an overall 7.5, and with the minimum band score for any skill 5.5 or 6. I don't know. You may get a score 7.5 in overall, but one of your skills might not be as good as 6, so that would be under 6, and they won't let you study in that university, and they won't enroll you. So be careful about this and check every score your university needs, and improve your skills in that category, and that's all. In next videos I'm going to compare Ielts and TOEFL, and I'm gonna say something about GRE exams and what's GRE, and so stay tuned if you want to get information about them. For the next week I'm going to teach you guys how to get your degree free from your university. Iranian who do their educations in Iran universities freely, they have to pay for their degree after they are graduated, but there is some ways to get your score freely. Okay. Get your scores, get your degree freely, get your degree free, and I'm gonna teach you that in the next video. So goodbye until the next Friday.